Welcome to my channel. This image! I am not, why?
Yeah, I see him eat all the time.
Eats like
what am I talking about?
All the time!
Don Darrow.
I'm a hot mess. Okay. This is a test of our friendship.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Just let it slide in.
Oh my god. Oh, what? What happened? What happened? What? No. We have an
Is that an outdoor kitchen?
That is an outdoor kitchen.
Hello.
Hi, chef. Why do they give me a camera and a microphone?
Too funny.
Yeah, because they don't know your name is Etner Mom Ace.
I might leave him on an island and eat his chicken, but that's survival. That's survival.
Yes,
But
that's survival. Uh-huh.
fuck it. Fuck it.
We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hello, everyone. We are having some technical difficulties. It's fine. It's whatevs. It is what it is. Hello. Welcome to Waking Up. Sean, I am trying to keep my temper down. You saw that before we even went live. What? That sounds like a you problem. And I mean, what do you mean your screen's freaking delayed? What do you mean your screen's delayed? Why weren't you using what? Like, oh God, I can't today. You know what? Hello, welcome to Waking Up. I'm about to kill Pep because he's just being annoying as fuck this morning. That's cool. I love you. And I am going to try and still treat him like I love him because even though he's annoying me. So, hello. I am Arugs. This is Pep. He may not exist much longer. And this is our podcast about growing up with religious trauma and how we are deconstructing ourselves and all of our unhealthy belief systems, not just religious belief systems, but all belief systems, including our mental and emotional ones, and reconstructing ourselves or at least trying to be decent human beings. So here we are. All right, here's our disclaimer. Pep's trying to stay very still. He realized that he is just towed a line this morning, and I'm just like, Here on Waking Up, we are not here to bash anyone's religious or religion or faith. We think that religion and faith are beautiful things when done in a mentally and emotionally healthy manner. We are not professionals. Anything said on this podcast is all editorial and our own opinion and our own experiences. We are not licensed, and these are all strictly our opinions. So, but if you do need professional help, are you in a place that you do need to seek advice from somebody or help from somebody that does have a license to treat that, we do have resources, and we can help you get in touch with resources that can help. So you can message us on all of the social medias at NerdMomAce, and we'll be glad to help. All you have to do is reach out. And you can reach out via Twitch. If you're following us, you can, don't forget Twitch has a messaging place too. So there's that. Sean and I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church. We grew up in North Carolina, strictly Billy Graham territory. And for those of you who don't know what Southern Baptist denomination is, it is a very strict evangelical denomination of the Christian faith. And it was a lot. I can't speak for Pepe, but I know that I am no longer of the Christian faith. There's just too much shit that I just can't get behind. And I think I hate to say that I'm spiritual. I do think that it's nice to have faith in something, but I just don't think I can have faith in organized religion. So yeah, that's okay. What are we talking about today, Pep? Yay, Calvino!
Wonder what the heck I'm saying. You can make it up yourself now if you like.
Okay, go ahead. You shouldn't be muted now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So let me do that all over again. So the throwback here, the title's a throwback. Some of you remember, some of you not. It is the Wayne's World. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Because that's how we grew up feeling. That's what we taught to feel from day one, from the very beginning. Is we're not worthy. We are bad people, and we deserve bad things, and not in a good way. Bad lip reading with Pep. I mean, you could totally do that. So yeah, that's today's topic: being unworthy and getting over that. The journey it's been for us to overcome that feeling of we're not worthy.
Why don't you go ahead and start?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm always fucking starting. I don't feel like starting today. So you start with how about feeling not worthy, because I feel like, you have a lot to say on that topic. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hey, yay.
Yay. Okay. So I was thinking about this, and why was it so prevalent? Where did it come from? And I realized it comes from the Roman road. You remember the Roman road? So there's a set of Bible verses that talk about how to bring people to Christ. And it's the very beginning of it sets that up. It sets it up as we're worthy of death. We're worthy to not be. We're not worthy of any of righteousness. We're not worthy of anything good. So from the very beginning, it starts off with, no, you're a terrible person and you're a sinner and you need God. And it maybe is like, that's a really, if you're starting off a relationship, that's how you start off a relationship, is like, you're a bad person and so you need me, or you need something else.
Oh, so the basis of most of my relationships in life. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
You tear them down.
Oh, fuck! I'm not ready. We've been live for 5 minutes.
Oh, you having a moment? This is what I'm starting. Okay, you need a moment.
The basis of my relationships have been, I am bad and broken, so I need somebody to fix me.
Yes.
Continue.
We learned that.
You keep going.
From being a little kid, we learned that at the very beginning is, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad kid. I was born a sinner. And therefore, the only thing that makes me good is someone else. In this case, Jesus. Do you think that has an effect on our relationships? Absolutely. It had an effect on mine. As Arug just said, it had an effect on mine too. It had an effect on how I approached every relationship. I approached every relationship as not worthy of the other person. The other person's better than I am. The other person is, I need the other person. They don't need me. I need them. It creates a very unhealthy dynamic within your relationship when you approach it that way. Oh, hey, Paragon. Disturbance in the forest. So I'll again. To Rug's cringing and speaking loudly.
I love how Paragon, the first thing Paragon says is, what did you do? What did you do, Pep?
They want to know what I did and what I did to upset you. Your community's protective of you.
They are very protective. They're like, what the fuck did you do? They like you, but they're all like, what'd you do?
if it's between me and you, they're definitely protecting you.
They shooting you in the ankle. It's fine.
they totally are. Yeah.
Oh.
So I learned early on that I need someone to save me. That I am not worthy of any of anyone's time. I'm not worthy of life and of being of relationships and of everything. Was you have to be saved by someone else in order to be worth anything. And I took that into my relationships.
Oh, I think we both did. We both took that into it. And not just our relationships. Let's not just relationships, but our view of ourselves. Like 100% our view of ourselves. And like,
and it's still here. That is still one of the things that I fight very hard when I in therapy. It's something that comes up in therapy a lot, is this feeling that I am here's one. I am a bother to everyone all the time.
A burden, right? And a bother.
A burden. Yes. I have a hard time asking anyone for help. Why? Because I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to burden someone. I don't want someone to have to deal with my problems. They're my problems, and nobody else should have to deal with that. I need to deal with it. Why do I feel like a burden? Because that's how I was raised. I was raised to feel like I was not worthy of anyone caring and paying attention, and my needs weren't important. My needs weren't important. I just needed to give it to God.
Why? This is why you picked this topic, is because I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna sit here in a fucking triggered state the entire fucking episode. Okay, it's fine. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Paragon says starts each conversation with "Sorry to bother you." Don't even know. Yeah, right. Oh my god, how many times have we done that? Now I try really hard not to do that now because I recognize that it is a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
That I did this. I remember doing this early on after we rebooted. I did this. I remember doing this. If you have to caveat your statements with "sorry to bother you," I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I know you've got a lot going on. When you have to, those are caveats. When you got a caveat before you say the thing that you're gonna say, that's trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because, and that usually comes, I think in my case, that comes from when saying something and having someone react in a very intense, strong way to where like, I feel like I have to make sure that everything's going to be okay and that they're going to hear exactly what I want to say and exactly how I'm going to say it. So I'm going to, and the fact that I feel like I'm not important enough for someone to worry about my needs, someone to think about my needs. And
that right there.
That's
there
really
it is. Yeah. It's not like it like you whittle it. If you all whittle it down to what it is, it's not the reaction. I mean, the reaction is part of it.
That can happen. Yeah.
The reaction is part of it, but that's something different. It is that innate internal belief that your needs, caveat goes well with what she's, it is that internal, that belief that your needs and who you are aren't important. And that absolutely goes down to and comes back to our Christian faith. Our needs aren't important. When we talked about that last week about like we put Jesus first, then others, and then we worry about ourselves. But if we are worrying about, if we're taking care of Jesus, our relationship with Jesus, and then our relationship with others, then our automatically our needs get met. You know, so we don't have to worry about ourselves because we're already, it's a trickle down effect. And that is how we approach motherfucking life. That is how we approach our relationships. That is how we approach our life. If we are taking care of other people, if we are worrying about somebody else, then our needs and our wants and our plans don't matter. They don't matter because it should automatically bring us joy that others are okay and that our needs should be the needs of others. And that's not the fucking case. And we don't think like we're at the bottom, that we're not worth the time, that we're not worth the effort, that we're not, and that Jesus died on the cross because we were so awful that he made the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate. Now it's my turn to trigger Pep. So it's like
my turn.
It's the ultimate sacrifice. Which in turn, when you're hearing that over and over and over again as a kid, your young formidable years of where you're trying to figure out like where you form your attachment styles and where you form your view on yourself, and especially if you're a teenager, when you're like that's the teenage years are really important in a person's development, in a psychological development, because that's when you are sitting there testing your boundaries. That is when you are breaking free and you are making choices for yourself. That's why a lot of us who didn't get the teenage years, who were parentified or made to act like an adult when we were teenagers, as soon as we start our healing, we all of a sudden look like big teenagers because we didn't get the chance to make those choices for ourselves. So because we were told that we were going to do what everybody else told us to do, and that's what we thought what a good person was. And we're realizing that just because we like weird, nerdy shit or whatever, or it doesn't make us a bad person. But when you're taught as a young child over and over and over again that Jesus made this ultimate sacrifice for you, so how dare you disobey him? How dare you have your own opinions? How dare you act selfish because somebody sacrificed his life for you?
Yes. We're talking 5, 6, 7 years old. That's the age that we don't know at that age. You don't know how to process that, not in a healthy way. And those are the emotions. That was what we were being forced to deal with. and you deal with it in the only way you know how. You pretty much internalize it, and it makes you feel like a terrible person. Jesus died for me. It's my fault that Jesus died because I'm a bad person and I just got to be better. If I had been better, codependence. If I had been better, Jesus wouldn't have died. That's the only you're at 6, 7 years old. That's how your brain works. Your brain doesn't know any better. And so that sets you up for a lifetime of my needs are important.
Mm-hmm.
My wants are important. What you said earlier about Jesus, others, self. Why do so many of us go out of our way to help everyone else? Because that's the order. And about joy, Jesus, others, yourself. Mm-hmm. Because it's like trickle down economics. It's trickle down emotional support. It's if we meet others' needs, mm-hmm. we're gonna have our needs met. And that is not how it works. That's not it's possible, but that's not usually how it works. If we're meeting their needs because we're not meeting their needs because we want to meet their needs necessarily. We're actually meeting their needs because we expect that ours will be met after that. And that's not really how it works, especially if we don't express the need. And if you're meeting other people's needs, if I'm meeting other people's needs in order to have mine met, that is not healthy. But that's how I live my life. And I'm working hard to unlearn that, and it is difficult. My needs are my needs, separate from everyone else's, and the only way for my needs,
and they are valid,
and they are they that?
You literally, folks, if you want to know what it looks like to have a very raw reaction, that is a very raw pep reaction. Are they though? Like that whole thing right there. Okay, I'll keep talking, so I'll let you sit with that for a minute. All right, cool. But yeah, it's actually in turn with that. Okay, so I'm gonna get real for a minute. So we did, because you're thinking of yourself and you have been literally your belief system. Now, when I say belief system, that is something that you consider to be true, that you like a belief system isn't necessarily religious. Mm-hmm. It's something that you believe. That is something that you believe is true. Things about yourself, things about others, like you can say the sky, you can after a while, you can say the sky is pink. The sky is pink, the sky is pink, the sky is pink. And then eventually you'll believe the sky is pink. That is just your belief system. And you believe the sky is pink. I have been conditioned in the joy system, that Jesus, others before myself, that it causes you to be very hypercritical of yourself. The expectations of yourself is you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. You have to run at this. You're always going to make mistakes. You're making all these mistakes. You're going to do all these things. And the reality is that you are worthy and you are capable. But this Wednesday, my therapist and we were talking about this, and because it is a trauma response, it is something that you do traumatized over time, and we did this loving exercise. It's a mindful exercise where you sit down and with purpose and mindfulness, you have this whole script you go through about imagine unconditional love. And imagine people in your life who exhibit unconditional love, that you love unconditionally, and embrace that feeling. How does that feel to love unconditionally, to love and to be loved unconditionally? And I'm just like, oh, it feels nice. And then through the exercise, you have to turn it inward. And it's like, now imagine taking that emotion and loving yourself unconditionally. And I couldn't do it. And it literally caused me, like, even right now, I'm like, this anxiety is feeling in my chest, is turning that. And the word was unconditional, that unconditional love. I love myself. I do love myself, but I have conditions.
Oh yeah.
I don't have
Absolutely.
conditions or judgments on anyone else. There are people I will love like till the ends of the earth regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that for myself. And it was really hard and it was really painful and it was really
Mm-hmm.
difficult. And it is one of those things where she's like, okay, well, that is something that you're going to have to practice because it's practice. You're going to have to tell yourself that you are worthy of unconditional love, that you are worthy of unconditional love. And that doesn't mean that you have to do anything, that you have to be anything, that you are that you deserve to love yourself with that non-judgment. And I have so been ingrained by the church and by the people that like the users and the abusers in my life
Mm-hmm.
that is not the case. I need to like myself enough to be confident enough to be likable and not a doormat, but then not enough that it's like I can't be better for something, you know? And that it's still something to this day I still am not capable of doing is that unconditional, because I seriously think for my Christian faith and how I was
Mm-hmm.
raised, because it's ingrained for like decades that I
Mm-hmm.
come last, that
Yes.
that type of love and care and support, even for myself, comes last, comes
Mm-hmm.
absolutely last.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the only way I can be a good person. And that's the only way I can
Mm-hmm.
truly love someone.
Because you're selfish otherwise.
Yes.
If you put yourself above anything else, if you put your needs and wants above anyone else's, that means you are selfish, and that's bad. How dare you? How dare you do that? And so you will sacrifice yourself and your needs and your wants for someone else's, because some a lot of times someone else's needs and wants are in contradiction to your own, and they're responsible for theirs, you're responsible for yours. But we both grew up feeling like it was our responsibility to meet the other person's needs.
Hmm.
And I think that's where the codependence came from. That if I meet their needs, I will be. If they're okay, I'm okay. If I meet their needs, then I'm okay. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all.
Yeah. Really?
No, no, that's not how it works. That's yeah. And it's still very much deal with that, deal with those thoughts. It's very, it's very, it, it's very difficult to break that. It's very difficult to say it's okay for me to be okay and for them not to be okay. That is a hard one.
That is one that, oh my God, like after our reboot was the most annoying. It's like,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
trying to make me okay. Let me not be okay.
And it was hard for me to grasp that concept. Um, that it was okay, that I had to be okay with you not being okay. And it wasn't like, we're not talking about in a situation where I did something to upset you. We're just talking about a situation where something happened in your life, completely separate from me, and you weren't feeling, you were dealing with it. You were trying to deal with it, and I felt that I was not okay if you were not okay.
And I think that was the part that bothered me because of who I am. I need
Mm-hmm.
you to be okay. I need you to be okay. I need you to live your
Mm-hmm.
life. I need you to stand on your own 2 feet, because then I felt like if I had to get okay faster, I had to maybe not process in the way that I needed to process, or to deal with it in the manner
Mm-hmm.
that, because I had to get better faster, because the only way to get you better was for me to get better. So,
It
and
was, wow, that's a vicious cycle. That's both of us being codependent. You needed me to be better, and I needed you to be better, and it was unhealthy in a full circle.
that's after our reboot. That's after we were
It's
totally
after,
toxic with each
yes.
other. So we also have
Oh my god. Not healthy at all.
I think that this is something that, I mean, it doesn't just permeate through ex Christians, but I think that feeling of worthiness and the just being, I think that feeling is universal for those who
Mhm.
have been in any type of toxic relationship, or like even growing up, with a lot of us that
Yeah.
are struggling with that, is that feeling of, I'm allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to
Mhm.
be in the spotlight. I'm allowed, and it's okay to ask for help. I'm allowed to let people love me as I am. It's okay. And it doesn't require, and I think that's the other thing, is that because as kids we were told it was the ultimate sacrifice, and the only way that you can show real love is sacrificing all the motherfucking time. It's like,
Mhm.
you can love somebody and not have to give everything of yourself. And I don't know how to, like, that. It's very hard for me. I'm learning, but it's very hard for
Yeah.
me
Yep.
because we were
Yep.
raised and so when you love someone, especially when you love someone deeply, and you're in like either a best friend, like a best friend
Mhm.
situation, because like Pep and I did it, and we're not we're not romantically involved. It's just, it was because we love each other so much that
Mhm.
is what our traumas fed off of each other, but
Yeah.
like both him and I, both in our marriages, we love this person so much, and we feel like the only way that we can love them is to give of ourselves, because we're
Mhm.
not good enough for this person. This person is so, like, we are so lucky. We are lucky
Yes.
that they love
Mhm.
us, because we are so awful that we are lucky that
Yeah.
they love us, that somebody is
Yes.
choosing to love us.
Yes.
So because we
We don't
think,
deserve.
yeah, we don't deserve their love, we don't deserve this, and they want to spend the rest of their life with me. What the fuck? Like, they must be doing some type of charity work or whatever. So I'm going to do everything that I can
Yep.
to be the person that they want to be, and I'm going to sacrifice everything because I love them that much.
Yep. And you're afraid to be a burden to that person, because at any point, being a burden means that you're not lovable, or they're not going to love you, and they're just going to leave.
And they're going to leave. And then there's that
Because you're
abandonment
not
issues.
important enough for them to stick around for. Oh my God, you're not important enough. You don't bring enough to the table. You don't matter enough for them to stick around. When things get hard, they're just going to leave. Because why would they stay? You're not important enough. You don't matter enough, and so everything becomes eggshells. Everything becomes like, why would I express my needs and wants, when if you have to deal with that, you're just going to get frustrated, and you're just not going to want to be here, and then I'm going to be alone.
I just had a thought.
Oh. Would you like to share with the class?
I would like to share with the fucking class. Okay. So,
let me get ready.
Yeah, okay. You ready? All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're talking about, bringing stuff to the table. So,
Yeah.
as kids and through our Christian life, and Christians to this day, yes, we were unworthy, and that God loved us and he gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way that we could stay worthy was by doing shit. How many people can you bring to Christ? How many good deeds could you do? How many of these things can you do? Oh yeah, God loves you and you're saved, but being saved isn't good enough. Being saved and being told you have accepted Jesus, you've accepted this love, you've accepted this sacrifice isn't fucking good enough. It is not good enough. What you have to do now that you're saved, here is the laundry list of things that you have to do to remain worthy. Because if you don't do this, then are you really a Christian? Are you being the best Christian that you can be? Are you doing these things? And
are you being obedient? But at the same time, wait. Sorry, go ahead.
And I wonder why I can't. Okay, go ahead. At the same time, what?
At the same time that they're saying here's the laundry list of things that you need to do in order to be a good Christian, they'll also tell you, but Christianity is not works based. You don't have to. It's not about works. It's not about what you do. But here's a list of things that you're supposed to do. Like, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna lose no matter what. That's pretty much what you're telling me. And yes, that is absolutely the truth. Because I've watched on TikTok. I've watched deconstructionists live, and and that's exactly what happens. Someone says, "Well, how did you know you were a Christian?" Well, because I did these things. Oh, well, it's just works based then to you. You weren't really Christian because you were just trying to do a bunch of laundry lists. You're caught in this paradox of I can't do enough, and I just have to keep doing more.
But that's how cults. And I'm gonna, we haven't called the church a cult in a hot minute, so here we are. But that's how cults get you. It's like they put you in with this whole promise of love and eternal whatever, or this promise of being a better person. But then at the same time, this cognitive dissonance, they cause that discord, that they gaslight you. They cause that to enough. They cause you to question enough. Well, but you're saying this, but you also are saying this, and you're not really giving me an explanation why the two are coincide, like, because you're really contradicting yourself, and so you live in that state of unbalance in the middle. Of that cognitive dissonance of I don't know what's real, I don't know what's right, so I'm just going to pick my own reality, and I'm going to choose what to believe, what they tell me to believe, because the evidence, the truth, if you're looking at it straight, if you're doing the DBT thing, or if you're looking at just the facts, say something else. So to have faith, you have to believe. You just have to choose to believe.
God loves me unconditionally, but I got to do all this stuff. I got to do all these things. And so that's how I approach my relationships, is like, how much can I do for the other person? Because if I don't make things happen, if I don't try to make them better, if I'm not always doing something for them, then what good am I in the relationship?
Both Peppa and I are very triggered right now. I can hear him messing with things because I can tell by like I can hear it, and I'm over here like I'm like we are very, very triggered because this is a topic.
This has been our life.
This has been our lives, and this is a topic that we still very absolutely very much daily still to currently. This is not something that is just like, oh, that we've dealt with and we're just sort of on the other side. No, this is something that we deal with every single day. Quick.
To the protective coffee mug. I have it. It's right here. And look, it's themed. It's the waking up mug.
So's mine.
Oh my God.
This is something that we deal with daily, that we talk about with our therapists daily, that I just said, I am still talking about this. This is still something that I haven't even come close to getting to the point where I'm healed from this yet, because I love, like I said, I love myself, but there's that unconditional part. Like I'm getting to the point where I love myself, but it's always that feeling of no one's going to love me if I'm broken. No one's going to love me if I'm not put together. No one's going to love me if I'm not exactly who they need me to be. No one's going to love me and I am not worthy of their love. And if they are choosing to want to be in my space or want to hang out with me or want to be with me, then I need to consider myself grateful that someone is loving me. I need to be grateful that anyone. So you didn't even allow yourself to say that's how you don't create boundaries, and that is how you let these toxic people in your life, because you just need to count yourself lucky that somebody's gonna love you because you're so fucking broken and you're so fucking damaged and you're so fucking worthless that you're lucky that anyone just wants to be around you.
Yes. And that if you do anything wrong, anything that you do wrong could be detrimental to the relationship. Anything, if you do something wrong, if you make a mistake, if I made a mistake, then, because I think about what I learned growing up, what I learned in the church was that if I sinned, God can't abide sin. So if I sinned, that separates me from God. So every time I sinned, which could be something I did or something I thought, because, thought sin, I had to go confess it. And not just like, oh, I had this thought, I'm going to try not to do that. No, it was like prostrate before God. It was, oh, you're this big, amazing, wonderful God, and I'm this lowly. I had to become obsequious for everything. I had to make myself feel unworthy for everything. God, you're such this powerful, and you've saved me, and you died for my sins, and you did all these wonderful things, and I'm just this lowly person every single time. Because if I didn't do that, was I really repentant?
When you get triggered and you get really on a roll, you use your $10 words, and I'm like, remember, we're a streaming podcast. I don't even know, I'm like obsequious. Like, what the fuck is that, Pep? I mean, I love you, and I get, you know what? You class up our podcast. It's fine. I'll use the extra fucks for you.
I had to get on my knees before God. Not in a good way.
No. Like, I don't know about you, Pep. I try very hard to be honest with our audience. Like, in our community, it's by the Oxford Dictionary, right, Paragon? So I try very hard to be honest, but like right now, I am very triggered. I am incredibly triggered, and so my therapist, and I know Sean, yours does this too, because we've talked about this. Like, you have to be, when you are in triggered state, when you get into a distressed state, your therapist makes you say, where are you feeling it in your body? And I know that like a lot of people are like, that sounds a little weird, but because where you're feeling it really does sort of help you narrow in on the emotion that is it affecting, that part of. And I didn't realize that until I got into it. I was like, what does it matter whether it's in my stomach or my chest or my head or my, like, I don't understand what it, but it does matter, because different emotions affect you physically in different ways. And so it was one of those, now I get it, but I'm feeling it right here in my chest. Like literally it's hard to breathe. And what I have discovered is when you feel it in your chest, it's a hurt. It's a wound. It's something that hurts, that I am. And so this is something that not feeling worthy and all of this is still a very deep wound that has hurt me very deeply. And it's hard. It's so hard to talk about and accept being worthy and being okay with being me and being existing, and that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. I can be a mess. I can be a mess, and I can still be worth being loved as a mess.
Yes.
And that's hard. And that is so hard. And this is something that even those who haven't grown up Christian, I honestly know that they struggle with this too.
Yeah, it's not specific. It's not just exclusive to growing up Christian, growing up in a high control religion. Sometimes it's exclusive of that, and that's just how you grew up. Your parents expected you to deal with or be responsible for their emotions or the family's emotions, or at some point the family dynamic was such that you realized that you had to do something in order for everyone to be okay. It was your responsibility. It was our responsibility to make sure that everyone was to deal with everyone's emotions. And you,
Yeah. Pep and I are both
You're
like,
triggering them.
we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. We're
Yeah.
okay. We're okay.
We're okay.
Yeah, it's one of those I don't know about you, but I got it from both sides. Like I got this particular trauma reinforced on both sides. You guys need to take a time out. maybe we'll see. Like if we have to take a respite, which we just might, take a respite, which is fine. We'll talk about something else, but
Yeah.
we're trying to get good about that. We're trying to get good about okay, I need a break. But I got it reinforced from both sides. So I was always at church. Sundays, morning, evening, Wednesdays. In the summer, I was there every other day. So I was always in the church.
Yep.
Then I was at home. And of course, to save the time of school. And so my entire non-school hours was this message right here. And my mom reinforced that a lot. See what I have sacrificed for you. So why you should do as I tell you to do. You should be grateful to me because I did this for you. And the reality is, and I am learning, and even as a parent now, that you make these sacrifices because that's just your parent. And your kids should not be responsible or feel bad for that. Now, my kids know I make these sacrifices for them, but I never put that on them. I never go, I'm doing this for you, so you should be grateful. I say, well, I'm doing this for you so that I can help provide for you and provide for us a better life.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to do for you. This doesn't have to do because
you're not
of
making
you.
them responsible for it.
This is something that I have to do so that we can live a better life. And I like, and that's the huge difference. Like my kids know I make these sacrifices, but I don't put them on them and I don't make them responsible for them. And I don't make them a burden for it because it's not their burden. It's my choice. I make that choice. It's not them. They didn't choose that. So it's not their responsibility. And so I'm trying to break that cycle and it's hard. It's hard. And it's hard to break that cycle and provide that for my kids, all while I'm over here having to deal with how that affected me. And it's hard. And it's hard. And it's hard to accept. I would rather be alone than have to earn your love.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking to everyone in our community. I want you to listen really good. And this is one that this is a lesson that I'm still learning and I'm still practicing it. So I don't want you to think that I've got this figured out, but I'm going to tell you right now. So everybody's listening. Everyone, listen real quick.
Getting close. Come close. Come closer.
You should never have to earn someone's love. That does not mean it is real love. Love is a thing that is given freely. You should never have to earn someone's love. No act. It's not a transaction. It is not I do this so I can love you. Love is given freely, and it is a choice. And if you ever have to get to the point where you have to earn someone's love, you really need to stop and take stock of where you are. And you are worthy enough to just be freely given that love. You are worthy enough to be freely given that love and to be loved for all that you are.
That's a big one. Transactional. Oh, yeah. Um, I think I was praised, and love was only given shown to me at when I did good things. Because I learned this somewhere. This doesn't just happen. I learned it somewhere. Um, go sit with my thoughts. Yeah, that's what happens here. Um,
Paragon, hold before you go on. Paragon,
uh-huh.
don't approach that as a bad thing.
Ooh, yeah.
Sitting with your thoughts, even the uncomfortable ones, are okay. Because if you learn to sit, this is something that my therapist told me this week too, because I'm having to actually sit in my uncomfortable thoughts, Paragon, and that's why I'm sharing this with you right now, because this is what my therapist told me. It's okay to sit in your uncomfortable thoughts. It's only temporary. And the more you sit with don't sit there and let them control you, but the more you sit with your thoughts, the more you're able to understand yourself. So it's okay to sit with your uncomfortable thoughts, because the more you learn about your uncomfortable thoughts, where those come from, and you sit with them and you learn to be comfortable with that, the more you can recognize them and the more you know about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's hard and it sucks.
It's so hard. Yeah.
It sucks and it's super uncomfortable. And I spend most of my time sitting with my uncomfortable thoughts going, I don't want to do this. This fucking sucks. Is healing really that important? I really do. Is healing really that important? Is that really important? Is this just something I can let slide? Like, I can just put this over to the side, but...
Is there a shortcut? Can I? No.
But Paragon, you do not have to earn anyone's love. You are worthy just as you are. And you know what? I choose to be your friend because I want to be your friend, not because you're doing anything for me. I can tell you that because I've met you in person, so I know that for a fact. So, in case you needed to hear that.
And that may make you feel uncomfortable. And that's okay. Because it used to make me feel uncomfortable. It still kind of does sometimes.
Oh yeah, I tell Pep all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
It's okay.
I don't. What? Yeah, you don't have to do that. Oh, yeah. I feel like that is the productivity that I have to do something. I fight with that all the time. Like if I'm not doing something, then I'm not loved, or I'm not doing enough. There's always I always feel like I can do enough, or I can't do enough. I need to be doing more. That there's always something, if I'm not trying to encourage them or make them feel better or make sure they're okay, then I'm not being a good friend. That's what I equate. It's it's almost transactional. It's like if my transactions, if I'm not depositing enough, then I'm not being a good friend.
Yes, there is that.
Mm-hmm.
There is that, like, if it's strictly transactional. But I mean, there isn't an amount of effort.
Yes.
Like, that you have to put into your relationships. Like, you can't just go, well, I'm worthy enough, so you're just going to have to accept that this is how I am. But I mean, you do have to put forth like work into relationships. That's not, but it's making that work a part, internalizing that and making that who you are and your value. So you can put forth effort and give into a friendship, but don't make what you give into the friendship the value of who you are.
And that I just moved my mic. And that's what I was doing. It was my self-worth was based upon what I brought to the friendship. What I could do for the other person, the needs that I could meet. And sometimes it was not even the needs that they expressed or the ones that they expressed. It was what I projected onto them. And that's where it usually was unhealthy for me, is I was projecting that they needed something. I was projecting that they needed encouragement or they needed something. And so I was going to, if I didn't do that, if I didn't meet this projected need, then I'm not of value
Mm-hmm.
as a person.
Do you want to talk about something else for a minute?
Sure, we can.
Okay, I
talk
don't know. I don't know, but I think we need a break for a hot minute. I mean,
This has been a heavy one.
this is a heavy one. It's a little tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm like sitting here. I'm sitting in it, and it's like, because I think it's also because like I am. This is just something literally that I talked about like not but a few days ago, and I'm still like, it's still hard. It's still, and so I'm like, put the weight down, right?
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what to do.
Oh my goodness.
Ah.
We're here. This is what we do. It's Sunday.
We're uncomfortable. You know what? If you want to see Nana and Pepe really uncomfortable, here it is.
At the same time, too. Yeah, usually. Sometimes
Usually-
this happens, it's one or the other. This time it's like both of us. We're like,
Yeah. So how's your inner child doing? How's he doing?
Wait, is that supposed to be better?
I don't know. I just
You're just triggering it a different way.
Sorry.
Yeah, fun facts. Oh my god, fun facts.
Fun facts. Okay, well, thank you, Calvino. Calvino's filling us out.
Woohoo! Thanks, Evino. You the man.
Thanks. Okay, fun facts.
Yes.
Do we have a fun fact?
I am kind of obsessed with Legos.
That's not a fun fact. That's like common knowledge. That's common knowledge.
It's common knowledge. Look, anybody notice the addition to my?
No one. I love you, but no one really notices. Like, unless.
No, they don't. I know. It's so far back there. No one ever noticed.
Okay, here's a fun fact that involves both Pep and I.
Oh God, where's this gonna go?
Back when we were dating in college, or he was in college and I was, but back when we were dating, back in the day, our movie was Mask of Zorro. And our song, we had, because everybody has a song. Our song was the theme from the Mask of Zorro. Like, I would spend my lifetime loving you. That was our song.
Yeah, that was it.
That was our song. So,
it was our song. Yeah, that is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact that like nobody knew. There you go.
Oh my god. The trailer.
I wore Pep's ring, and because his class ring was so large, like it was huge. I wore it.
It was, yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, a fun fact: there are 60 minutes in an angle and 60 seconds in a minute.
Interesting. 60. Okay. That is is that a fun fact or is that just a fact?
Yes, but a lot of memories in that trailer.
Oh my god, that trailer! That was a tiny.
You know what's funny?
I paid. What?
You know what's funny is that like you and I have trailer stories, and so do Jay and John.
You're right.
Stories from the trailer.
And from what I hear, there was about the same amount of nudity.
Except we were doing way different things. With each other, that was. With each other, that was.
Oh my god! That trailer was $200 a month. I was in college, barely scraping by. The trailer was tiny. Oh my god! but it was like my first place.
I made spaghetti. I remember I came up one weekend and I was feeling all like grown up because I was a senior in high school, and we were like, I made dinner, like.
Right. Trailer days. Trailer days are the best. Trailer stories. Yeah. If you don't have trailer stories.
Right? Were you really in college? Were you ever really a teenager?
Right. Oh my god.
Yes, but our movie was Mask of Zorro, and our
Yes,
song was the
Antonio
theme
Banderas.
song. Yes,
hmm
so we were so like so in love. We were so deeply in
Yes.
love.
We're we were well unhealthy, but we were.
Oh my god, just thinking about us, it makes me giggle. I'm like,
Oh my god. The things that we did that the dynamic of our relationship back then. We didn't know any better. We were
our trauma was on
two
full
very
blast.
broken.
We're
Full
two very
yes.
broken, full blast traumatized people that, of course, all we wanted to do was be loved and cared for.
We were
Speaking of not feeling worthy, like we were just like, there's this really good looking person that likes me and wants to love me and
right. Give me all the love. Feel this voice.
we're so in love.
Yeah.
Oh, do you-
Young love.
love, true love.
True love. No edge.
No, that's
Yes.
no, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
What? It was Catherine Zeta. Yeah, not Selma Hayek.
And that's
Selma Hayek. I mean, that's great, but yeah.
that's what
Now
I
you
should.
drooling because of
That's what I should have known I was bi, because like that
Okay.
that sword
Catherine
fighting scene,
Zeta-Jones?
that
Yeah.
sword fighting
Great.
scene. I'm like,
that was something else. Mm-hmm.
I should have known then. I should have known that. I mean, I did know, but I guess I like.
That was evidence right there.
I mean, I would like to be a third. Thank you. Have a nice day.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
If you haven't seen the movie, I'm sure you can find a copy somewhere.
or just
It's
just
streaming
look
somewhere.
up just a massive sword fighting scene, and you'll know why. You'll know why.
Yeah, go watch. Yeah, go watch the scene and listen to what you're saying.
um but do you find okay, so that we are working on our self-worth, and I'm tying this back
Yes.
in. We took a
Okay.
little, but I mean, we're going to keep it a little lighter, or at least I hope so. Do you find that, oh shit, I'm thinking of Desperado. Desperado also was a good one. Yes.
That was a fantastic movie.
Do you find now that, speaking of like throwing yourself in love because you didn't think you were worthy, and you had this great person who loves you, and this person, or that cares about you, maybe it's not love, but this person who's willing to love you and care about you and is choosing to love you. Before it was, give me all the love, give me everything. Like I want to make sure that I am everything for this person. And you can't be everything for that person. That's just the reality of it. But do you find now that you're working on your boundaries and your self-worth and your value of who you are, do you approach that type of how you think about that type of love? Like you think I'm now strictly talking about romantic love now, because friendship love, like that can change, but like romantic love is such a hard thing to navigate when you're traumatized, and especially when you're traumatized in the way that you and I are traumatized, and our type of anxious attachment style, and especially for my, like with my BPD, it's one of those, like, do you find that now that we're working on how we view ourselves, how do you approach romantic love differently? What you want, what you look for, what you need differently?
Well, I think back then it was very much the Jerry Maguire type of love. It was the "you complete me" type of love. For anyone that's not familiar with the movie, that was a big line: "Is you complete me," and like I thought that was normal. It was like I am not whole unless I have your love. I am not a full person unless you're loving me. And and now I realize that is not healthy at all. That is not the perspective. It is, I am a whole person unto myself. This is something that we've talked about several times, is the want versus need the other person. I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. And when my mindset was, when my perspective was unhealthy, I would have taken offense to that. You don't need me? how dare you? What? That you don't love? Because that, to me, that would be, if you love me, you need me. So to say I don't need you would be offensive. But I've learned that that's actually the healthy perspective. Is I want you I want you in my life because I want you in my life, not because I need you in my life. Has taken some time to wrap my head around that concept. Because I don't need someone to fill a void. I want to be with someone. But if that person isn't there, that doesn't make me an incomplete person. For whatever reason, because if I need them to fill a space, then that means I'm dependent upon them, which makes it really hard for me to then walk away from something that is unhealthy. Because I feel like if I do, then I'm not a whole person anymore. And so I stay. And that's why my past relationships look like that. I stayed in unhealthy situations because I needed that. Because I felt I wasn't whole if I didn't have it. And now I realize I'm a whole person, without that person in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So the other person adds to my life. They don't complete my life. And I think that's a very different perspective than what we grew up with. And honestly, that's a very different perspective than what society often believes is real love. Because we see it everywhere around us.
Oh yeah.
That idea of, I need you. It's that romantic, that the stuff that we perceive or we're showed as romantic is often unhealthy. It makes for good film, sure, but it's not a healthy way to approach life.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think I find for me I'm having to shift. I think, and I brought this up several times, and I'm realizing that if I repeat something, if I say something over and over, it's an important topic, and my brain is telling me it's important. Is that feeling of I need to be grateful. I need to be grateful that somebody loves me and that somebody is, wants to be with me, like that. That I don't have to like or love or be attracted to everyone that has a crush or attracted to me. Like, just because they have feelings towards me or they find me attractive doesn't mean I have to feel the same way back. Like, just
it doesn't create some sort of reciprocation that you have to fulfill.
Right. Because I should be grateful that somebody finds me attractive. I should be grateful that somebody, wants to be in my presence and thinks I'm great. Like so I should show my gratitude. I should show, no. I could totally be okay just being me. And, you can choose to love me or not. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole I'm still working on that. I'm worth somebody's time, even somebody that loves me, and being comfortable and showing myself being a mess.
Yeah.
But it's one of those accepting. The big thing for me also is accepting that is keeping people in my life that need to go.
Yes, that's a tough one.
Like, you need to go. You're treating me like shit. You're acting like an asshole. You have your own traumas that you're dealing with. You're emotionally avoidant and you're pulling away from me and breadcrumbing me or whatever. You need to go. And it is not that I am not patient. It is not that I don't want you in my life. But at the same time, I am also not going to allow you to do this, because here's the thing is I don't deserve to be treated that way. Because I'm worth being treated better. I'm worth being communicated with. I am worth, and I am allowed to ask for honesty. I am allowed to ask for those things because I fucking deserve it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't have to just accept what you give me.
That's good.
I don't have to accept what you give me. I don't have to just say, well, this is what I have and this is all you get. There is being in a place where this is all I can give right now. I wish I could give you more. And there's a whole different energy behind that. There's a whole different energy of this is where I'm at and this is all I can give you right now. I know that you need more and I want to give you more, but I just can't right now. That's honest. Versus this is what you get and you should be grateful for it. Because that's implying you get to make the choice of what I need.
And that is absolutely not their choice.
And that you could give me more, but you're just not willing to.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's usually what it follows up. That's usually where it comes from, is that they're only going to give you, they're choosing not to give you. Yeah.
This is what you get. You should be grateful.
Yeah. Giving you the bare minimum. And then that's often followed by, as soon as you start to go, you know what, I need more than that. Then they give you more than that, just enough to make you feel like, okay, well, this is better. And then it pulls back. And then it opens up and then it pulls. And so it's this constant back and forth game. And that's what keeps you. I think that's what keeps you in a relationship, is you get just enough. I think that's what happened. I think that was my relationship for a time before it really fell apart, was getting just enough to keep me there, just feeling loved just enough.
And you know what? I need more than just enough.
Yeah.
I'm worth more than just enough. I need you to value me.
Yes.
I need you to value me for what I'm worth. I don't need to give you at discount prices.
Right?
I am worth a shit ton.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly getting to that point. Like I said, it's the whole unconditional thing, loving myself unconditionally. But I am learning to actually really love myself. It's slow. It's slow and it's hard. It's a climb.
It's a
battle.
Yeah, it is.
Loving myself is a battle. But I know my worth. I am absolutely knowing what I am valued as a human being. And there are people that I kept in my life for a long time and that I valued more than they valued me. That their worth to me was way more than my worth to them.
Ooh, very imbalanced at that point.
Yes. And you know what? The reality is we have to value each other at the same level.
Yeah. No, I think that doesn't mean. Well, actually, no. That's I was going to say that's a little different. I was going to talk about effort, but that's a whole effort and value are completely different.
You could value someone really highly value somebody. You both can value each other and be in a place where you're like, okay, I value you and I love you and I care about you, but I can't give forth this. But there's a difference between
I've only got so much effort right now.
Right.
At this moment.
Energy to give to that person, but that doesn't mean you don't value them. But you can't sit in that state of, I value this person, but I'm only going to give 15% all the time.
Yes. That's what it comes down to, is what is the trend? What is the over time? What does it look like? Because it's never going to be 50-50, or it's never going to be, there's always going to be that back and forth. And sometimes neither of you have much effort to give at that moment. But it's, what does it look like over time? And the unhealthy relationships, it tends to be very one-sided. Like for me, I was giving all the time. At the point, what I didn't realize in mine was that she had checked out, but told me she was not. And so this is, went through counseling and whatnot. And so I was putting forth a ton of effort to try to get things back on track. And that was very much one-sided. And that about broke me. And it took a while for me to finally get to the point where I'm like, this is not okay. I'm not okay with this. This is not going to work.
Because she valued you differently. She did. Your value to her was very different than her value to you.
Yeah, exactly. and that was very reflective over time. Now she didn't say that, like
They never
she
did.
made me feel like my value was higher, but then over time it was easy to tell. There was lots of evidence that no, that was not really the case.
Right.
I just didn't want to recognize it because my self-worth was so low that I just accepted it.
But I value you, even when you piss me off.
I value you too. Pissed off and all. Yeah.
Oh.
You were important to me.
Aw, you're important to me.
And you were important, and you were just important, period.
So are you.
I'm working on that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
baby steps. Baby steps. Sometimes baby
Yep,
steps.
exactly.
Matters.
Baby steps are still steps, right?
Well, this was a nice triggering episode. I get to sit in the discomfort and uncomfortable feelings for the rest of the day. That's fucking cool.
Fantastic.
Yay! Okay. Well, I think this is a good time to end.
Yes. Oh, we all feel love. And I value our community. I value
do.
each and every one of
I
you
do.
in
I do
our
too.
community.
So do you want to do it in conclusion, Pep?
Be good to yourself and each other. Sorry. No, that was someone may have gotten that. I don't know who. It was a Jerry Springer moment. Sorry, he's trying to lighten the here.
Tell me you're deflecting because you're triggered without telling me
Right,
you're
I
deflecting
know.
without being triggered.
Man, this has been a triggering episode. Like, yeah. So to say, how to wrap this up. You were born worthy. You were born loved. You were born worthy of love, and you don't have to prove that to anyone. You didn't then, and you don't now.
Like a
You-
third chair.
You what?
He says Jerry Springer deflection like a third chair.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to earn anyone's love. You don't have to prove that you're worthy. And that is something that Pep and I are still struggling with. And it is something that we work on every single day. And we're trying. That's all we can do.
Yep.
Yay.
All right.
Okay. And with that,
We made it.
yay. All right. We hope you guys have a great Sunday. And we'll catch you on the other side. Bye.
Bye.